come down from what has bound you. And rise up in this newness of life that holds such an extraordinary promise just for you. Respond to the spirit of your being with willingness and a new kind of surrender. I can trust that the same promise that was active in and through Jesus the Christ is active in and through me now. Guidance leads me. Life lives me. Love embraces me. I'm settled in the presence of the one, just one. And I hear the Spirit call me to that which is before me. And I know that I'm given everything I need to stand as the expression, the full expression of that one presence, of that one power. And I'm ready. And I'm enough through the power within me to meet any obstacle on the path. With your breath. Today I consciously rise in consciousness, accepting the highest and the best for myself and for all others. I am new today. I am new today. And so I give thanks. And so it is. I chose this song for this morning because I play it almost every day. Magic screen. The Power of One by Donna Summer.
You must always remember, life can be a challenge. Life can seem impossible. It's never easy when so much is on the line. But you can make a difference. With courage you can set things right. Give to dream and make dreams real is yours. And the power of one.
That's splendid. Isn't that just splendid? Donna Summer, huh? I found it on YouTube one day and I thought, oh my. And I listen to it almost every day. I listen to it on the way to church on Sundays, plug it in. My phone is like, again, you want me to do that again? Yeah. Thank you for making it work. So, Joel Goldsmith said, the Christ is not a man. It is the presence, the power of the invisible, that which permeates all being, that which is never seen in and of itself, but is always seen, heard, tasted, touched, and experienced. It must be realized. So one of the things that Unity has for so long said is Jesus. It's the Christ nature, the divine nature that Jesus continued to point to, the reality of kingdom of heaven in the here and the nowness of our being. That in all the teaching and all the demonstration and all the words in everything that happened, as much information as we have, it wasn't boxed into, oh, it's all about me. It was wide open, as if a wall were opened, that would reveal that the same presence, the same truth, the same reality that was present within and demonstrated by Jesus is the truth and reality of our own being, the Christ. You say the Christ. But we don't want to make it so singular that we lose the message itself. And because it was all demonstration, his whole life was the demonstration of what had not been seen in that way ever before. Or perhaps, but certainly not recorded, certainly not apparent. Eric Butterworth said that, Eric Butterworth, one of Unity's finest ministers, said he literally broke through a wall of human consciousness to reveal a truth, a tidal wave of cosmic universal truth that was and had always been, but had not yet been recognized. There was not the consciousness to receive it. There was not the awareness to inhabit that realization. And so he said the breakthrough of the Great Wall is that frequently we try to block it up again and re-brick the wall, so that we don't really own it. And in Unity, we have said and have always said, the Christ is within you. The living, moving presence of the divine is the reality of your being. You are more substance and light than you are form and shape. That which you are has taken on form and shape, but in reality, the being of you is this light force, this constancy of light. And as we forget, or as we confine and live into our limitations as though they're the reality of who we are. We just turn the rheostat down on that lightness and become more dense and heavy and feel separate, and then really go to work trying to make things be particular ways, when in fact the way is always present within. I love that sound. I love that sound. I love that baby sound. That's making me so happy inside. If you haven't met him yet, he's got big blue eyes. He's beautiful, and he's fully alive to the light within his being. He's fully alive to his radiance. He doesn't know why we don't all see it. You put him up against the screen, you'd see light going off in all directions in his aura. It must be realized, said Goldsmith. It must be realized. For you, the freedom of being the risen one can only happen as you feel it in your consciousness. I am that. And this going backward into the density of it all is a mental journey, if you will, a journey in consciousness that is more mental than real. And so when we start to sink into that density, the reality of Easter comes alive another time. And how many Easters have we done? I've done a lot of Easters. And the message doesn't really change. I can't find new material about Easter. It's like, really? If I just buy another book, it'll tell me something different about Easter? No, it's about this experience, the reality in the here and now. And anytime we move into that risen state of consciousness, which is to look to Spirit as the reality, not just of our being, but the true reality of everything in our life, we lighten, and suddenly we're a being throwing off light particles in all directions to lift and change and uplift everything. This transparency, this sense of transparency to the Spirit, I have always loved that, feel that image, transparent to the light, transparent to Spirit, transparent to the promise, transparent to that which is and will always be so. Light. James Dillett Freeman, another one of Unity's great teachers, said, you know, the miracle isn't that Jesus rose from the dead. The miracle is it took 3 days. That it took as long as it did. Why not instantaneously? Because he was relaxed. He was resting. He had in that the fullness of all life present with him and around him in every way. He was non-resistant, and he had become non-resistant before the actual moment of his death on the cross. He just gave up what was. He let go of letting go. He let go of himself. He let go of the agenda. He let it go, and in that, then we see this arising. What can we let go of? What can I let go of to experience more of the light, the truth, the reality of my being? So I asked that we could see this video about who you really are. It will look to you like trying to figure it out, but just watch what happens with the light. You ready, Ellen? Yes. All right, just imagine that's you, creative power of you. So, yeah, it's called Namaste. And I came across it when I was looking for something from my friend Joan when she was near passing, because I wanted something that emanated life. But more than that, can you imagine that, not that you have to be a dancer, but that that's what comes off of you, that you are that field of constant light and power? How can you not resurrect when you see the reality of the truth of who you are? And I don't know how they did that. I don't need to know what the technology is. What I want is to create that feeling in me of being not just in confinement and bound, but in that constancy of power. And not just power, not the kind of power that is power over, but that kind of power. And that it's It's us in harmony with ourselves at that deeper level, with a willingness to accept what's true, to give up the fight and surrender into this resurrection promise. Not just next week or next year, but tomorrow with whatever you're facing or dealing with. Can you bring yourself into an image that I'm a field of light, scattering light, unifying light, creating light. And that same light that rose up from within Jesus, it didn't come down on him, although it was everywhere present, but it arose from the core of his own beingness. Was he dead? No. Are you? No. Did it look like he was dead? Yes. Did it look like it was over? Yes. Is that the truth of life? No. Can you imagine that our beloveds are light beings of that kind without any limitation and restriction? Those who have gone before, those who are yet to come. Light beings born into the world. The entire universe is asking that we be our true selves. To do so, we must go within to that which is real, indestructible, and has never been born and can never die. There is but one presence, and that presence is within you. When our attention is on it, it begins to express as our life, our real life. Easter is not merely the celebration of the life of Jesus. He reminds us that we are capable of doing even greater things than he did. We love and celebrate the master teacher by practicing his principles, living his teachings, and following his example. When we do, our life shines and glorifies the power, the presence, and the love of God. When we do, our life shines and glorifies the power, the presence, and the love of God. Each of us arises from that loving presence. When that becomes our self-concept, we will be able to say, as Jesus did, when you see me, you see the presence that sent me, and you will experience Easter every day of your life. The videos are YouTube. The song is The Power of One. The light video is Namaste. I don't know who did it. I don't know where it came from, but it's really meaningful to see it again and again. Mr. Ward. I'm going to read this for you, to you, because I love you. So instead of singing it, I'd like to have Ward play, and I will read to you, I behold the Christ in you. I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you. I can see this as you walk. I see this in all you do. I can see this as you talk. I behold God's love expressed. I can see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed. I see Christ in you hour by hour. I behold the Christ in you. I can see that perfect one, led by God in all you do. I can see God's work is done. As we share our tithes and love offerings this morning, the plate is by the sanctuary doors. If you are online watching our service, we appreciate your donations. You can mail them, you can give them online, you can, well, if you're far away, it'll be harder, but come on up and drop them through our door slot. Wherever you are, we are. And wherever we are, the world is a better place. We teach abundance. We believe in the principles of abundance, that we live in an abundant universe filled with overflowing good. And so we say, I give joyfully, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Peace song this morning, if you would remain in your rows. You can turn, but please don't make circle. And the words to the peace song are going to be
in your mind.
there somewhere.
Okay.
Magic, magic, magic. Thank you for being here this morning. We love you so. Have a happy, happy day. Resurrection has taken place and you are new today. Please stand.